Hey friends, I decided to do a video on easy high caloric meals for one of my friends. We're gonna go from easiest to prepare to more complicated. So the first thing we're gonna start with is eggs, Old Faithful. If you're trying to gain all the mass, how many eggs should you eat? Wrong question. The right question is, how many eggs are there? Okay, so I think I'm about halfway done with this. Now, here's the thing about protein. So protein is incredibly satiating. Most of the satiation, like the feeling of fullness that you get when you eat food, comes from the protein. Additionally, eggs are pretty high in fat, so it's hard to eat 12 eggs. See, there's a trick. If you're trying to eat more food, just fat and protein by itself, it's hard to eat a lot of that because it does a really great job of letting your brain know, I'm full now, that's enough. But you can trick it. And here's how you do this. So if you add some kind of carbohydrate to the process, you trick your brain. The food becomes hyper palatable. So I'm pretty much full at this point, but I'm sure I can at least get down another 3 eggs. Let's see how that goes. Alright, I'm full at this point. I think that was like 8 eggs. I don't feel bad about that. The other thing too is I need some eggs for my next recipe, so let's save some. Here's another thing to keep in mind about eating that many eggs. So as any self-respecting bro is going to tell you, if you want to actually put on weight, you can't just eat eggs. You can't just eat chicken. You gotta have some carbohydrates as well. Trying to put on a bunch of mass, eat more carbohydrates, more protein. So here's the thing. Who puts on mass better than anyone else, you might wonder? Well, sumo wrestlers put on mass better than anyone else. So there's this wonderful dish called Chunko Nabe. I'll put a link downstairs here so that you can see somebody who actually does good work make a version of this. The problem that I have with this recipe is that it's a lot of work, right? It's sort of a lot of work to ask somebody to start doing all this at once. There's just a lot of steps involved. So I put this idea together as kind of a Chunko Nabe hack, if you will. I'm waiting for some chicken to defrost, so while we do that, let's cut up some small pieces of vegetables. If you're going to do this maybe in some sort of like reasonably authentic way, you're not going to do it like this. But that was sort of the point of this video, is the authentic way takes a long time. My thought here is, let's just get this to be something easy that you could do in like a half hour or something and then have like enough food for a couple days. So to that end, if you wanted to just grab some frozen vegetables and just do this that way, that would be completely reasonable as well. For this particular recipe, I'm thinking carrots and some onion and some spinach and mushrooms and then our chicken that we're gonna make here. But if you look at all the different recipes there are for Chunko Nabe, I mean, you can just go all over the place, right? It's really kind of just a riff on a hot pot. So add the vegetables that you want, add things that you think would be enjoyable. One of the things I saw was that a lot of times miso is part of the soup base, and that's cool. Miso is delicious, but I find miso pretty satiating. For whatever reason, miso is just so hearty that I feel like if you were trying to eat more, you should probably not put more miso in your food. So if you're trying to just eat a lot, maybe back off on the miso a little bit. But yeah, that's just my experience. Maybe you're different. But anyway, this preparation, not gonna use miso for it. So to be honest, the Chunko Nabe thing, I kind of dislike that idea because sumo wrestlers eat it, and it seemed like if you were gonna learn from somebody who's good at gaining a whole lot of mass, it would be sumo wrestlers. But realistically, this whole thing is basically just a glorified hot pot. And so you can pretty much put like whatever you want to in there. I mean, you can get pretty wild and creative with the ingredients. Everything from shrimp, all kinds of seafood can go in here. Cook up some bacon, throw it in there, or if you have pork belly, even better. I mean, one way or the other, you do have to wind up with some kind of protein in here or it just completely misses the point. So we're gonna do chicken and eggs today. And so the whole point of this video is really, hello, let's put you right back there. The whole point of this video really is how to make these cool meatballs and then put them in stuff. I think they're pretty good. Just about done here. The thing about like Japanese cooking is there's not usually a ton of meat in it. There's a lot of vegetables, there's a lot of other stuff, there's a lot of soybeans, there's a lot of miso, and that's all good. But what you're trying to do is gain a bunch of mass. Just double up on the meat. So as much as possible, just try to get like a pound of meat in this recipe. So I'm going to tell you how to make about a pound of chicken worth of these guys. So pretty close here. Why is the worst? Okay, so take about a pound of ground chicken in the bowl. A better way to do this would probably be with green onions, but I don't have any, so I'm going to put some cilantro in here. Soy sauce, just to be cool, throw another egg in there just for good measure. And then, just because, gains. If you've got some ginger, throw it in there. I'm out of ginger, so I'm going to throw a little bit of garlic in here. And then I'm going to mix all this up. Now, you might notice, as of now, this doesn't look like it's going to make super good meatballs. Yeah, so the trick here is the following. Add a tablespoon of cornstarch. If you got some panko, throw that in there. If you don't, just use some breadcrumbs. That'll work fine. Alright, so at this point, take this, make a bunch of little meatballs out of it, and then throw it in a pan and fry them up. There's enough for everyone, so there's enough for you too. See you next time.